our loves, and welcome back to the Girlfriends podcast here on Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja. Yes, it's been a long time coming, and I hope that you've been enjoying all of the episodes that we have been reading out so far. And if you haven't checked them out, please ensure to check our playlist, The Girlfriends Show, so that you can see the other videos that we have for you because it's an array of everything you are looking for. Everything spice, sugar. How do they say it?
Spice, sugar, bitter leaf.
Let's cut to the chase. All right, back to business. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you.
I'm fine. So today, let's talk about this. Now, there is this thing I've noticed, especially when women get divorced or they leave their spouses. There is this unusual glow that comes with it. Let's even say like they become 10 times hotter if they were
richer as well.
Do you get, like, doesn't mean that marriage is a cave or people are just married to
their enemies.
Yeah, or maybe they whip off fashion against them. Their enemies of progress. So the moment they leave, there is that
like freedom.
Wow.
I'm actually forced to think that is the case because recently I've had reasons to like look at the lifestyle of so many celebrities who got married and got divorced. I would like to start off with Cora Biggie. First of all, congratulations to her. She's now, an American citizen. And some people have been dragging her ex-husband. I don't think that's really necessary. But congratulations to Cora Biggie. Who would have thought that Cora Biggie would still like thrive the way she is, thriving in her career and also as a person, as a woman, an independent woman at that, with 2 kids, to take care of. So Cora Bidi is a case study. You also have Ini Edo. She's doing well for herself after a failed marriage. And I know some people will say that, marriage is like all that defines, your happiness and your fulfillment as a woman. But I beg to differ because there is a lot more that actually comes with your sense of fulfillment and happiness. You also take a look at Toke Makinwa. Toke Makinwa has carved a niche for herself, not just in the media industry, but in every ramification. And she's been able to garner that recognition locally, nationally, and even internationally. How about Chika Ike? Of course, she just, gave birth to a baby. And it's none of our business who the baby papa is. But if you tell us, I really would be glad to know who the baby papa is, right? She's doing well for herself as well.
Why did you use baby papa? Is that a shade? Papa. Is it that other person that we are thinking?
Is the other person, is he a papa?
Papa?
What do you mean Nollywood papa? Who is Nollywood papa?
Please, let's move on.
Is there something I'm missing? I don't know.
If you can get the shade, drop your thoughts in the comments.
Okay. But I wasn't referring to some senator, okay?
I don't understand. Who called the senator?
Okay, I think that should be a conversation for some other time. You
said baby daddy and said baby papa. That's the shade.
Okay, baby daddy, my bad. We have baby mama,
not baby mommy. On that shade. We are starting on this. She said baby papa, and that's what she meant.
Okay. Thank you. We also see Mayole Doche, like that lady, she has been doing well and still doing well for herself. So I'm forced to think, could it not be that when you're married, there are limitations? I think personally that when you're married, there could be limitations like, you're a married woman. That context in our Nigerian or our society, you're a married woman, there are things you shouldn't do, there are places you shouldn't go, there are businesses you shouldn't even dabble into because you're a married woman. And I think the restriction is actually out of this world. So for these ladies, it's more like the moment they just got divorced, even one of the P Square brothers' ex-wife, I think shortly after the whole divorce process, she bagged the degree or something. People were like, oh yes, go girl, go get it and all of that. I'm like, so when you're married, is it that you personally restrict yourself as a woman because you're married, or it is really the men restricting the women from attaining, full potential in their career, financially, or what have you? It's a bit complicated.
Honestly. $1 million question, I must say. I think from my perspective, everything about marriage depends on the people involved.
Okay.
Because whether you're restricted or not, it all depends on who you are as a person and who you got married to.
Sure.
Yes, because now looking at it, it's not like for some people, it's not like they're restricted. They
Mm.
personally make those decisions to just
They just let their guards
yeah,
down.
just let their guards down.
So would it be
Because
right to say
after
for
all,
those people, like marriage is just their end goal?
for some people, they just feel like that is it. But for some people, you know this saying that success is the greatest revenge.
Mm.
So I feel like they
Mm.
want to capitalize on that.
Yeah.
Let me show my ex that I'm better off than them. So the motivation becomes 10 times, or let's say 1,000 times more
Mm.
than how it would be before.
Yeah.
So they are striving to be everything that people said they would not be.
Even when
They
they would
just
have to
want,
break the back or
they
their
have
back
to
or the
just prove a
bank.
point. They
Okay.
have to prove a point. But then for some people, they are genuinely concerned about their growth and also about certain innate capabilities that they had that they didn't know they had. You know, heartbreak and grief brings out a lot in people.
Mm.
Yes, you know, for the
Only
case
if you have
of
the right people around you.
yeah, of course. Like for the case of May now, you know, she lost her son,
Right,
and then
right.
around that time the whole divorce or the whole husband wahala. I think she just had to. For some people, it's like their response to grief. It's their response to heartbreak.
Right.
So she handled it so gracefully. Does it mean that she does not have her moments where she will break down? Of course. Imagine losing your teenage son. That's her first son.
And losing
exactly losing
the love
your
of your life.
husband.
Mm-hmm.
She's lost her husband for what I know. Like not to death, of course, but
Right.
another woman. Yeah, she's lost her husband to another woman because polygamy was never the plan for her. She didn't envision that I'm going to get married and one day another woman is going to come here. And the man has said it several times that she was always there in the picture, building with him and everything. So you are building with somebody, you have the goal that we are going to get all together and everything, and then one day you just wake up. It's not even the man telling you. You are just scrolling through the internet, and you are seeing awkward news about another woman, and then it's somebody that probably your husband once said is his colleague. So
they're colleagues anyway.
Yeah, but who would have thought that something like that was happening?
Men.
So at the end of the day, you just have to pick yourself up, whether it's to prove a point or not. You just have to do something. And for her, she has been doing that really gracefully. And thank God she has very supportive people in her corner, which other people do not have, because there are some divorcee or some women who have separated from their husbands that honestly are not lucky enough to have that chance. So it's not every woman that gets to have that glow up after ending a relationship or a marriage. It depends on the access you have to resources, the people you have access to, or the people who have access to you. And of course depends on you as a person. Because for me, I would always say that everything that happens to us, as much as the external factors play a role, it's more internally. It depends on what you want to do with yourself. Because that marriage is secondary. You are first who you are before the marriage. You were this person. What aspirations did you have as a young girl? What dreams did you have when you were still in singlehood? So it's easy for you to pick up. Now, who would have thought that May wanted to be an actress? Maybe she let her husband go.
Was she doing well acting? I don't think so.
Okay, you don't. I've not actually watched that movie, but I've seen her in skits.
I think
I've seen her in skits where she did well.
She's better off as an influencer.
She should just keep her influencing deals. Okay.
She's just a calm person, and maybe
she doesn't put that much energy.
No.
Okay.
But she's doing well regardless.
Yeah, of course. So, and then talk about Chika Ike, Imi, and Toke, all of these ones. They already had something going for them. So that is why for me, I will always say that regardless of who you are getting married to, anything can happen. That is not to say we are preaching negativity or we are prophesying doom. Be yourself. Have something, whether as a man or a woman. What are those things that make you you, even when your partner is not there? Your partner should just be a plus. Your partner should just be like, should I say an addition that even when taken out may not really take much from you. That doesn't mean that you don't love them. You love them, but they see you, they support you, and they are willing to see you go to greater heights. But that doesn't mean that if they don't do that tomorrow, you are going to. Of course, it's going to be hurtful because everybody go. I don't think that people go into marriage with the idea that I want to leave.
Yeah.
Things just happen and it ends. And even if it ends, it's not like that it's ending. It's
Right.
very heartbreaking, I must say. Very heartbreaking. But you need to know you need to have you, and be very aware of yourself. So I think that that self-awareness just becomes on 100 when they finally leave their husbands, or when they finally break up. And I think that for the women it's just more obvious, because even the men, they have their own glow up time.
I don't think so.
Just that for the
The
women
only
it's
glow
more.
up, the only glow up that divorced men have in Nigeria is for them to pick up another girl that they think is, maybe
Better than
hotter,
them.
maybe more beautiful.
For some, even they even go
than
lower than.
like we see your brother doing now.
Which one? No shade.
Well, we all,
Who
every
shades
woman,
the
every woman is
legend?
beautiful, really. Every
Of
woman is
course.
beautiful. But the truth is, there are certain characteristics that the society actually looks at and you say,
No
oh no,
woman
but
is
this
the
woman
same
is.
actually. Every woman is unique.
But at the end of the day, I think I actually would throw my weight behind something you said. That first of all, every woman should really like believe in themselves and know who you are.
Yeah.
Marriage should not be any form of limitation, for your goals, your self-development journey, and what have you. And I personally think that for women who are married, who actually they hide under the guise, oh, my husband has been the one limiting me or restricting me because I'm married. I feel if you set your standards quite high, not too high though, realistically high, your husband will be able to understand that, oh no, this woman is really passionate about this.
But there are some men that are enemies of progress.
No, those ones are sons of Pharaoh. Those ones you have to take them to God in prayer.
There are some that don't marry your enemy of progress. If you marry the weapon
How do we even
fashioned
know?
against
How do we
you,
even know the weapons that are fashioned
sometimes the
against
signs
us?
are there. Sometimes the signs are there. This type of men that will say, oh, you can fly, but don't fly too high. Don't fly too much above the sky. Fly, but fly where I will be able to cut off your flappy wings,
All right.
Those kind of men. Run, because someone you go hear them.
Okay, so are you also worried, just as we are? Like, what is really going on? Could it be that marriage it comes with its own restrictions, and these restrictions the implications can actually be far-reaching in such a way that at the end of the day, when the man sees something better, he will just leave you high and dry, and you become so desolate. Sometimes very hard for you to pick up, the pieces.
For what we are seeing, a lot of the women are picking up those that
See
are
how Divya, she's glowing.
but now another aspect that I almost left out was the fact that, as much as we are having this external glow, I hope this glow is also coming from within, because internal healing is as much as important as what
Anyhow it is. Anyhow it is.
No, these guys are into showbiz, so it's about what they want you to see. I don't mean that they should come be vulnerable on camera for us, but as much as they are being very intentional about their external looks, all of the makeup and everything, they should also invest that energy into therapy. They should also invest that energy into healing, because giving your life to somebody for donkey years, giving your life to someone for decades, and then one day you just wake up, the breakup comes in a very traumatic manner. It's not something that you would let go, even though people do not heal the same way.
Right.
But I just hope that they are being very intentional about the internal healing, as much as we are seeing all of the glow, the bone straight, the makeup. In fact, the glow is on point, and I would absolutely love it if that glow is also
coming from within.
Exactly. It shouldn't just be,
and not necessarily the people around you trying to compel you to act in some type of way.
Okay.
Yes,
and
please for the
break
camera
down,
and all of that.
Break down if there is need. Cry in your bedroom. I'm not saying come and be vulnerable to us on cam, because obviously you're just giving us something to talk about. We don't want that. We just want a case where if you must cry your eyes out. For me, crying is very therapeutic.
Thank you very much. I think when you cry, you let out so many things.
That there are times when I just put sad songs, I just want to cry, I just want to wet my teeth.
And you feel better
I feel really good. Like, but it's been long I have done that day.
Is that to say you're not in love or something? Well, I personally
think it's not about any love.
Yeah, you're right. Don't mind me. I'm
in a good place. If it's about love, I'm in a good place.
We can see actually.
I don't understand. I mean, like,
all right,
you could be in love with yourself.
No. Anywho, like she said, it's okay for you to cry. It does not make you a weak
No,
person.
it's not.
I've
It's
shed
not
tears so
weakness.
many times,
Mm.
privately, publicly, but it does not make me a weak person. As a matter of fact, when I shed tears like that, it's just a matter of time. I actually will come out, stronger and even better.
Mm-hmm.
So just do what works for you. And again, the healing should be all round, not
Yeah.
just what we want to see or you want your fans to see
Mm-hmm.
on social media. I personally think in the case of Annie Dibia, the break should have been longer. Like this her comeback is
It
too
depends. It
sudden, too
depends on,
sudden if you ask me.
I
It
think for
has to
some,
be
okay,
thorough. Don't do it
mm,
in a hurry because you want,
people to
yeah,
feel
yeah, you
that
want
you
people to
are.
know that, oh, you have a thick skin or you're a woman of,
So do you feel like she's
whatever.
trying to just prove a point?
Not necessarily trying to prove a point. From the videos I've seen, I think Annie is consciously making efforts
Mm,
to heal.
yeah.
All right, and I would not be surprised to hear that, oh, she even broke down, maybe crying and all of that,
She
reflecting
would
on the
cry.
moment
She
she
would
had. Actually,
cry
it's very okay.
because we've
Actually,
always
yes,
known that the
because you
love has
actually
been
love
more
this
on her
person
side.
genuinely, yes. So
The
it's
love
it's
has
just a
always
matter of
been more on
time.
her person.
And no matter how long it takes, just know that you'll be fine. That's what
Of
is most
course.
important. All
Mm-hmm.
right. So if you're in a marriage right now and you think that you've not been able to attain or even really show the world the stuff that you're made of
Mm.
positively, by the way, maybe you should have a conversation with your partner. The earlier the better, before they leave you hanging high and dry. Tell them, look, this is something that I was passionate about before you came my way. And now that we're married, I just realized that I've just been there. Can we just try to switch things up a little bit? Watch his response very closely. Like she said, look out for the red flags. So,
Hmm. And then I think let me just use the opportunity to give kudos to the men who are allowing their women to slay at their goals, regardless of being moms, regardless of being their wives.
mm,
It's really not easy
right.
because there are men who are very supportive. They help with the kids, they help with the home,
Mm,
just for their women to attain all of the goals. And
yeah.
they let their wives fly because the sky is big enough for everybody. So I think kudos to those men. But
Such men are mostly from Delta State and Benue State. You can take that to the bank. I said that.
it seems like all South men are sweet.
Oh, I knew it.
I
I
don't
knew it.
understand. I
I
just
knew
backed
it.
you up on what
I
you
knew
said.
it.
You guys tell us, why do you think that women grow better when they are no longer with their spouses? Why do they grow better after breakup? Share your
Right.
thoughts in the comments
Comments.
and we will see you in the next one. Bye.